Music is a way to express yourself about what you're feeling, and hip hop has always been honest about where it comes from, and sometimes that honesty leads to death. It's something that always nearby. These songs treat it like a shadow that follows you home. You hear it in a way these artists rap, tired, paranoid, and aware that life could end fast. Some of these artists weren't just telling stories, they are documenting their own thoughts, their surroundings, and their losses. Whether it's suicide, street violence, or thinking about what comes after, these records sound like warnings. In this video, we're looking at rap songs that face death directly. One of these artists that talk about this theme was Scarface, a lyrical soldier who made you feel his music. Death sounded heavy and exhausting when he rapped about it. During his career, he raps about the street life and what comes from it, not just physical scars, but mental scars that don't go away. On songs like I've Seen a Man Die and Suicide Note, you hear him at his lowest. He pours his soul on these tracks, making us feel every word he raps. With I Seen a Man Die, Scarface raps about a man who gets released from jail. He's happy to go home, but goes back to his old ways. Eventually, his enemies attack him, and he ends up in a hospital. Hearing Scarface say, I see the fear in your eyes and hear your final breath, gave me chills. At the hospital, the man fights to stay alive, pulse getting lower and his heartbeat getting weaker. He gives up and his soul leaves his body. He is now dead, taking a walk with death to the afterlife. His song is a warning. It shows how fast life could end. It shows the consequences of the street life. Scarface's song shows us one perspective of death, but Nas' song, I Gave You Power, shows us the perspective from a gun. It starts off like this: I've seen some cold nights and bloody days. They grabbed me, bullet spray. They used me wrong, so I sing this song to this day. You already know it's violent just from the start. It's the life of a gun, only made to kill, going place to place with the same effect to hurt people. Nas raps about the bad influence it has, saying, I might have took your first child, scarred your life, crippled your style. I gave you power. This chorus describes how much destruction a gun brings to people's lives. The second verse, we hear more effects that the gun has. Taking lives, being used in robberies, filling up graves in cemeteries. At the end of the second verse, the gun is tired of being used, saying, like the next time the beef is on, I'll make myself jam right in my owner's hand. I really like that line by Nas. It's smart, putting that in the song. It makes it feel real, not imagined. By the third verse, the gun is about to fall to pieces. It's like a serial killer at this point. It's in the double digits. The owner grabs the gun, but the gun doesn't go off. He tries again, but nothing. The gun is done killing people, so the other guy kills him instead. The gun drops and is happy until someone else picks him up, starting the cycle again. Now storytelling on the song is crazy. It's like you're witnessing everything that happens. Both of these songs are warnings about death. They document it like it's sudden and permanent. It stays with you after it's over like a bad aftertaste. They don't glorify death. They told you the raw truth about it. Once you're gone, that's it. Perspective is what makes death different from everyone. And some people tell you how they witness it from themselves. It can be a mental battle with yourself. It's not in the streets, but inside your mind. Rappers like Biggie paint a picture with his song Suicidal Thoughts into why he wants to end it. The song starts off with Biggie calling someone on the phone. He tells him why he deserves to die. He wonders if hell is better than heaven because he's done too much dirt to get into heaven. Biggie tells his life story, what makes him want to hurt himself. He talks about feeling unloved, even questioning whether his own mother would cry if he died. Pressure in his life causes him to think different ways to kill himself. And thinking about his own funeral, he believes nobody would miss him. At the end of the song, he ends his life while the person on the phone screams his name. Listening to the song was like getting into the mind of Biggie at his lowest. His cry for help is making the phone call, but he already made up his mind. It's like the real world, how people can hear you but won't listen to you until it's too late. It's a temporary solution that leaves permanent scars on the people that love you. Another song that faces death from the inside is So Many Tears by Tupac. The song feels like a mental prison. Pac isn't just afraid of being killed, he's afraid of himself. He's trapped in paranoia while also being lost in his thoughts. When he says, back in elementary, I thrived on misery, it shows his pain didn't start in adulthood. It's been with him his entire life. Throughout the song, Tupac talks constantly about expecting death, either through suicide or from enemies. He has visions of his death from his paranoia. He doesn't trust anyone and feels cursed by his lifestyle. Lines like, I'm suicidal, so don't stand near me, show how close his mind is to breaking. And lines like, but ain't no future bright for me, I'm stuck in the game. He knows there's nothing else for him but death. Death is coming for him at all angles, from his enemies to his lifestyle to himself. By the end of the song, Tupac sounds exhausting. He shows you what it does to you mentally, the paranoia, the fear, the isolation. It's a psychological battle where survival isn't about dodging bullets, but also staying sane. Both Biggie and Tupac show us death can live inside your head nonstop. Their songs feel like they're preparing for the end, but what comes after death is a reflection of it. You see it for what it was, and Kendrick Lamar's Mortal Man reflects on death and legacy. Throughout the song, he repeats, when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? He questions whether people will stay loyal to him when he makes mistakes, or if they will turn on him the same way they turned on other leaders once they were gone. The song feels like Kendrick Lamar looking into the future and asking how he'll be remembered when his life is over. He mentions black leaders that the public turned against and wonder if he's next. The song becomes how you'll be judged when you're not here anymore. It's Kendrick's response after he dies. Part 2 of the song, Kendrick interviews Tupac. Tupac talks about revolution, survival, and how power can change people. Kendrick listens like a student trying to avoid the same fate. The interview turns into a song into reflection of legacy, what you leave behind when you're gone. At the end, Kendrick Lamar asks Tupac one last question. The music gets louder and there's no response. It shows how Tupac died too early and we're stuck with no answers. The legacy he left behind is what remains, just like what Kendrick will leave behind one day. Death affects all of us differently, and hip-hop turns that into a sound. The sounds that leaves you thinking after it's over. It's the thoughts that come with it. Scarface and Nas break down how street violence affects people in their communities, but with Biggie's song, it's something that will save him from his pain. Tupac shows us that death is near, and it could come from anyone, even yourself. But with Mortal Man, Kendrick's response is that death doesn't end with you. It ends with your legacy and people who remember you. Once people forget you, then you're truly dead. Death comes in all forms. Sometimes it's a warning, sometimes it's inner pain, sometimes it's reflection, and hip-hop doesn't hide from death. After the beat cuts off, the message stays.